So firstly, just as we start, I just wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians on the land we're meeting on, who are the Ngunnawal people. Just wish to acknowledge and respect their continuing culture and the contribution they make to life, the life of this city and this region. And I'd also like to acknowledge any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people who may be attending here today. So welcome everyone to our final Midweek Matters for the year. We're really lucky that we have Lauren McCabe from Safe Home able to speak to us today about home safety, particularly over the holiday season. So Lauren coordinates the Home Safety Program, which is an ACT government initiative which aims to improve home security for households in the ACT that are vulnerable to property crime. So I'm really looking forward to hearing some of the ways that we can improve home security, particularly the simple and inexpensive ones. So I'm going to hand over to Lauren and she will take over. So just a reminder to everyone, please, to any comments and questions to put them in the chat and Lauren will deal with them afterwards.
Sorry, just bringing it up for you. Okay, can everyone see my slideshow? That's okay.
Yep, I can see it.
Excellent. So thank you so much for having me here today. So as mentioned, I coordinate the Safe Home program, and the aim of the program is to provide ACT residents with practical and useful information on improving their home security. So we do this in a couple of ways. We provide home security assessments, minor security modifications for eligible residents, and we also do group workshops. So just a little bit more on those. Firstly, home security assessments. This is where a trained assessor offers face-to-face assessments in the home. Anyone can have a home security assessment done. There's no eligibility criteria. We will do it for anyone that's feeling unsafe or vulnerable. Following the assessment, a security report with security recommendations is then sent out either via email or post. Following the home security assessment, we are able to provide minor security modifications for eligible residents. So to be eligible for this service, you need to have a current Centrelink concession card. And we also provide community presentations, so free practical workshops presenting simple and inexpensive ideas and strategies to improve home security to community groups. And we'll do this for any group, no matter the size. So we can either do them online, like the one today, or pending COVID restrictions, we're also able to come out and do them in person as well. So while we're really lucky in the ACT that we do benefit from low property crime rates, there's steps we can all take to make sure that we stay safe and secure in our own homes. And there's a number of precautions that we can all take. So just to begin, I like to talk about a study that was done in 2014 by Edith Cowan University. So 220 detainees for break and enter were interviewed, and they revealed factors that tempt and deter them from entering a house. So I'll just discuss briefly the outcome of that study. So factors that tempt them to enter houses. Number one, properties that appear vacant are more attractive to burglars. So leaving bins out and letting the mail pile up in the letterbox is going to pique the interest of anyone scoping your home. So a little bit later, I'll go on just to talk about what you can do there, particularly as we're approaching the holiday season and with people going away. Number 2, and perhaps a little less obvious, burglars are more likely to target homes if the owners are occupied. So if they're having a party, washing the car or gardening. And I quite often get referrals for people that will be, say, gardening out the front, and they'll take the opportunity to then go around the back through the open door. So it's really important that you are aware of your surroundings and just keep your home locked up even when you're out in the garden. And number 3, opportunities are often seized when valuables are left in plain sight. So it's really important, just when you walk up to your house, just have a look what people are seeing when they approach your front door. Just make sure you don't have any laptops or your wallet or anything like that within plain sight, because this will tempt them just to smash a window, because they know they're going to get something out of going to the effort of breaking in. So interestingly, the study suggested 57.8% of burglary offences were opportunistic, while roughly a third involved prior planning, so scoping out homes to see whether people are away on holidays. So the factors that deterred them from entering houses, interestingly, 61.4% said they would not break in if the owner had a dog. They suggested that a dog is a major deterrent. Obviously, dogs aren't an option for everyone. So we're not suggesting by any means that you go and get a dog. What we are suggesting is make it look like you do have a dog as a deterrent. So display beware of the dog signs on gates and anywhere that's visible from the front of the house. Other factors that deterred them from entering houses, burglars were deterred by properly secured windows, doors, and security systems. So I'll just go on now just to discuss these points and what you can do to increase the security. So it's really important that you make it as difficult as possible for a burglar to gain entry to your home. Ensure your windows are kept locked. Don't leave curtains open with valuables in plain sight. As I mentioned before, this is just going to tempt them to break into the home. If you're replacing windows, consider laminated glass, shatter-resistant window film, which helps to prevent windows being smashed, or even double glaze. Ensure you keep garage windows locked and also covered. Often burglars, to establish whether anyone's home, they'll look through a garage window to see if there's a car present. If there's no cars, it's a good sign that you're out and it's a good time to break in. So we recommend on all your windows, ideally have key operated window locks. They're the best security for windows, and often I know insurance companies will often ask if you've got key lockable window locks for insurance reasons. If that's not an option, often a lot in older homes where the window has sunk a bit and you can't get a lock on, or if you're renting, some other cheap alternatives are window clamps. So a packet of 2 window clamps can be purchased from Bunnings or any other hardware store for roughly $5, and they just screw on. Or place a snug and flat wooden rod or piece of dowel in the window track. So I'll just now talk about doors, what you can do with doors. We recommend installing a quality deadlock on all your external doors. So as well as the handle lock, these can be quite flimsy. It's a good idea to have a good quality dead latch on all your external doors as well. And make sure you keep your security screen doors locked at all times. And if you've got the older style security screen, which is pictured, it's a good idea to install a lock guard. So there's a picture of one on the screen. They can be purchased from hardware stores for roughly $10. So what this is preventing is someone cutting the mesh and then sticking their fingers round to either unlatch the security door or unlock it if keys have been left in there. So for sliding doors, there's two options. Either consider having a patio bolt. The second photo is a patio bolt installed at the top of the door. Or another option is, again, just a snug piece of wood in the door runner. And when we're looking at doors, don't forget about your garden sheds and the side door of the garage. It's a really good idea to have a good quality deadlock on there. Or as pictured, that's a patio bolt. They're quite cheap and easy to install. Most hardware stores have them for under $10, and then you just need a padlock to install it. I like to talk about what to do when a stranger comes to the door, just because I've been to a few referrals where people have answered the door to someone they don't know, and the person's just pushed them out of the way and come into the home. So it's really important, if a stranger comes to the door, that you don't open the door. Consider installing a door viewer like the one pictured. Again, available from hardware stores from about $5, and they just require you to drill a hole. Or other options, a little more expensive, an intercom, ring doorbells, or talk through a locked security screen or window. If you don't know the person, or ask who they are through the locked door, or you can simply just ignore the knock, not pretending you're not home. Keep making noise, just don't answer the door. And the reason we say to keep making noise is because a lot of the time burglars will knock at the front door first before breaking in to establish if anyone's home. If the person does not go away or you are concerned for your safety, contact police on 131 444. That's their non-urgent number. However, if they are breaking into the house, then that's an emergency situation and you can call them on their emergency number. So I'll just talk now about key safety. We recommend not leaving any spare keys hidden outside. Burglars know all the usual hiding spots under the mat, in pot plants. So if you need to have keys outside, if you can't leave them with a family member or friend, we recommend installing a key safe. So there's a few options with key safes, and these can be purchased again from hardware stores. Most of them are under $150. So there's two styles of key safes. The first style is bolted to a wall, and the second one there is the padlock style, which doesn't need to be installed. So you can place it around a tap or balustrade. Following this, key safe details can be registered with emergency services by calling 131 444. So I'll just talk now about what you can do in your yard to increase your security. So we recommend out the front, it's a really good idea to have good visibility of your doors and windows. So make sure trees and shrubs are trimmed. So anyone walking or driving past would be able to see if someone was trying to break in, and keep any that could be used to climb up to gain access to your property. It's a good idea to have those trimmed back as well. If you have good visibility at the front, they will then try and get around the back of the house where they can't be seen. So it's a good idea to prevent access to the back of the yard. So if you've got gates, make sure you keep your gates locked. So there's a few options with gates, depending on what style you have. Most gates come with a spot where you can put a padlock. If this isn't an option, consider having a padbolt, which is pictured there, installed, so that you can attach a padlock and keep the gate locked. Another option, if you've got a gate like the one pictured, is a chain and a padlock. A lot of people find it really inconvenient having to carry a key, but there are a lot of different padlocks available. So the second picture is a combination lock. So you can open it with a code. So it might be worth considering as well if you don't want to carry the key. So just other things to do in the yard. Make sure you lock away tools, ladders, and gardening equipment. Firstly, so they can't be stolen, but secondly, so they can't be used by thieves to gain entry to your house. I've actually seen tiny little spades be used to lift a sliding window off. So yeah, just everything needs to be locked away if you can. Another good option around the house is movement activated security lights at the front and the back of the home. Often if someone approaches the door and they see a light come on, it's a deterrent because they think they've been seen, and they'll often move on. And just in the garden, if you've got an electricity meter box where you can turn the power off from the meter box, consider getting a padlock from Evo Energy. These are available for purchase from the Greenway Evo Energy depot, and it's worth a call beforehand just to check they're in stock. So the number's 62935749. The reason we encourage people to lock the meter box, the main reason is if you go away on holidays, people will switch off your power to establish if you're away. They'll come by one night and switch the power off, and if they come back the next night and it's still off, they know that the residents are currently away. So it's a good idea to consider locking your meter box. So as mentioned in the study, alarms are a really good deterrent for thieves. If you do have an alarm, it should make sure you cover all external doors and windows, and just remember to switch it on, particularly when you go away on holidays. If an alarm system's not an option, we recommend just, again, making it look like you do have an alarm. A lot of electronic stores, they sell the box that you can install, and they also sell security warning stickers that you can display on your windows. So as I mentioned at the start, that study revealed that if a home appears vacant, then it's going to pique the interest of anyone scoping out your home. So this is really important as we're heading into holiday season. Burglars watch for signs that homeowners are away. So one of the best ways to keep your home secure is to prevent strangers from knowing that you're not at home. So a few tips: tell a trusted neighbour or family member that you're going away, and ask them to look out for your house. Give them your contact details. Ask if your neighbour could park in your driveway while you're away. Make sure you go around the house before you go to ensure all windows and doors in your home, garage, gates and shed are locked. Have someone collect your mail or have it redirected by the post office, or consider displaying a no junk mail sign so that the junk mail doesn't pile up in your letterbox. Again, this is signs that you're not there. And if possible, have your lawn mowed while you're away. And it's best not to leave messages on your answering machine or your Facebook advising that you're away. And also, it's a good idea to turn down the volume of your phone so that it can't be heard ringing out, because again, that's a sign that no one's there. And it's just a good idea to make the house appear like it's lived in. So we recommend using automatic timers. So automatic timers can be purchased from supermarkets, hardware stores, for roughly $10, and you can use these to set a light, a television or a radio to come on at different times, just to give your home the lived-in look. We do recommend getting to know your neighbours. As I mentioned, if you go away, you can ask them just to keep an eye out on your house and collect your mail. So we're not talking about getting to know the whole street, but it's a good idea just to know your neighbours on each side and front and back, just so you can keep an eye on each other. If you're suspicious about something in your street, you can call Crime Stoppers to report it, and the number's 1800 333 000. And we also encourage people to join Neighbourhood Watch. So the contact numbers are displayed on the screen there. Neighbourhood Watch are a really great community organisation. The good thing about joining is they'll send you their newsletter, so you can be kept aware of what's happening in your neighbourhood. And as well as this, they've got a really fantastic online shop that sells a lot of the security gadgets that I've been talking about. They sell the stickers and things that you can display. They also have a really good pen. They no longer use the engravers to mark all your property. What they've got now is a pen that writes on invisible, and it comes with a torch. So if you are broken into, the police have a big torch and they use it to go over all the property. It makes it easy to get your stuff back, and it also makes it easier to charge the person for break and enter. So their pens, I think, start from roughly $10. So yeah, just one of the many really good gadgets that they've got online that you're available to purchase. I'll just talk now about what you should do if you are burgled. So if you suspect a burglar is inside the house, and as I mentioned before, if you are at home and you can hear someone trying to break in, call police immediately on 000. If you suspect the burglar has left, so you've come home and discovered it, this is non-urgent, so you can call them on their non-urgent number, 131 444. If you're alone, it's a good idea to ask a neighbour or call a friend to come and wait with you until the police arrive. It's pretty unnerving to come home and see that you've been broken into. It's really important too not to touch anything until police arrive. Police need to see your home exactly as it was left so that they can obtain valuable evidence. And just check all your locks, particularly if your keys have been taken, and consider having your locks replaced if need be. So it's really important that police, as well as other emergency services, are able to find your house if there is an incident. So we recommend having large reflective numbers facing the street on your letterbox. Keep bushes around your letterbox and house number trimmed back. Another option is to have the house number painted on your gutter. And if you live in a townhouse or unit that is not near your letterbox, Place your unit number clearly on the front door or wall closest to the street. We from time to time just step back and have a look at your house through the eyes of an intruder. This is what we do when we come out to do a home security assessment. We're trying to find the vulnerabilities and make notes. So take notes and then take action. And just remember, if your home presents as the most difficult target in your street for a potential intruder, then you're less likely to be burgled. So that's the end of my presentation. So I'll just leave that screen up for a minute. It's just got Safe Home program details if anyone would like further information or to discuss a security assessment. So the phone number is 1300 656 200. So I'll just leave that up for a little bit longer, and then we can, if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer questions.
So we just have one in the chat asking for key safes, the number to contact. Is that?
To register the key safe once it's been installed. Is that right?
Possibly, yes.
So it's actually the police non-emergency number. So it's 131 444. So they'll just ask you a few questions. They'll ask you obviously what the code is and where the key safe's located. Okay. And they'll register that on their file, and that goes through not only to police but to ambulance as well. So if you have a fall and the ambulance need to get in, they've got the details as well.
Yeah. Okay. Then we have, how much is the fee for home assessments?
Okay. So there's Safe Home is an ACT funded program. So there's no fee involved to having an assessment done. We'll do an assessment for anyone that's feeling vulnerable. Obviously, we have to prioritise the most vulnerable, but normally we can get out fairly quickly. So as I said, anyone can have an assessment and there's no cost involved.
Okay, so if I suspect that my property is an easy target, as it is the last house with one side exposed, can I get a Safe Home program referral? It's from someone from YWCA.
Okay, we would be happy to come out and do a assessment. So to contact the program, just the details on the screen would be great.
And do you guys have a website that people can get more information?
We don't actually have our Safe Home website. What we normally direct people to the ACT policing website. That's got a lot of our information on it.
Excellent. That's all the questions we have for now, unless anyone else has any other ones. Not really. So what is the general wait time if someone's wanting to book an assessment, Lauren?
So the majority of our referrals come through from ACT policing for people that have had an actual incident. So they generally get prioritised. So that can take roughly 1 to 2 weeks. But anyone just calling the program, it's generally just a few weeks that we can fit them in within a few weeks.
Okay. And you guys can also provide everyone with information about sort of, if you're doing that assessment, where they could purchase some of these things.
That's right.
As well.
And
so
sorry.
Do you guys, is there any subsidy for certain things that people can get through you guys, or it's more of a referral of this is what you can get from where? And
Yeah, it's more of a referral. So if someone after the assessment will have a bit of a chat, and if they do meet our eligibility criteria, so generally it's targeted at low income earners. So anyone on a current concession card or anyone that resides in ACT housing is generally eligible for the minor security modifications. So we could perhaps add a dead latch or a door viewer, just minor things.
Okay. I think that's all. And just quickly, so the ACT policing, how just recently they announced that for break-ins, they won't be coming out to all break-ins and it will be done online. So that means, I guess, people would be calling that non-emergency number, like you said, if they think someone is not in the house.
That's right.
So
I think that's going to come into effect next year. Yeah, so it will be interesting to see how it actually affects our program too, and whether we'll still get those referrals coming through.
Yes. So I guess, yeah, we've had quite a lot of questions about that and what that means for people, and a bit of hesitancy about reporting things online, and what does it mean for insurance and things like that. So be good to keep talking to you so that we can keep people in the loop with what's hopefully happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if anyone else has any questions, please feel free to pop them in the chat and Lauren can answer them. Hopefully we'll give just maybe another minute to see if anyone has anything further. It doesn't look like we have anything else coming through, Lauren, which means your presentation has been very useful and answered everything that people needed it to answer. So thank you so much to Lauren from the Safe Home program for providing us with all of that information. And thank you everyone who has dialed in today. Just a reminder to everyone that we have recorded this presentation, so it will go up on our website in the next couple of days. So if there is anything that you want revisited or to go over, you can definitely look at that, and we'll also put the information for Lauren at the Safe Home program if you want to contact them directly. So yeah, that's our final presentation for this year. So thank you everyone who has come to all of these over the last couple of months. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you all again next year for some more presentations. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Lauren.